CHAP tales. Don't you wanna hear some CHAP tales? Hello people, what's happening? We are in CHAP tales land. Yeah, okay. All right, another little sweet little story for you. So back in the day, like when we just finished school, we was like 17. This is a story about me and some school pals, our second sort of lads holiday, if you like, away together. So we booked our first trip away was to a place called Corfu in Greece, to a place called Kavos. And that was a complete and utter disaster. I'm not sure if I've got other vids up about that episode, but yeah, check it out. Just have a look through my vids and see if there's, through the CHAP tales vids, and see if there's one about Kavos. I will check myself, and if there's not, I'm going to put some up because they are proper funny. Yeah, so we 16 booked our first trip away, Kavos, complete nightmare. Then 17, second trip away was to a place called Malia, and that was on the island of Crete in Greece. Obviously, we was a little bit more selective about who was allowed to come and stuff. So anyway, we went away, went to Greece, got there, and I ended up sharing a room with Amon. Amon is like was my original songwriting partner back in the early voice. And we wrote songs like No One Knows Him, Every Little Thing, Night to Remember together. So anyway, we went out one night, out of our nuts, just completely drunk, everything. Got back that night, went into our room, and I promptly fell asleep. Well, next morning when I've woken up and I'm feeling groggy as anything, and I'm just like laying there, like, and I'm facing away from where Amon's bed was, where he was sleeping. But after a second, I can realise that he's sort of having a heated discussion with a Greek man. So I turned over and I'm looking at Amon and this Greek fella who turns out to be like the owner of the hotel or whatever it was, these whatever that we were staying at. So I'm looking at Amon and I'm rubbing my eyes. I'm thinking I must see him right. But Amon looked like a snowman. He was he's just completely covered in like white powdery stuff that was a little bit like snow, if you like. And I'm just looking, and this argument's going on about like the Met. Now, as they're arguing, I'm looking around our room, and the whole room is just covered in snow. It looks like we went skiing rather than to Malia. And I'm sitting there and smirking and that, and like Amon's realised that I've woken up. He's looked round at me, and I'm just like smiling. I'm like, what do you look like? And then he looked at me and he's like, well, you don't look too good yourself. And I was like, what? So I got up, went to the bathroom, looked in the mirror, and I was exactly the same as Amon, covered in this white powder. Anyway, I've come back out, and this guy who owned the hotel, he was pretty angry, and it looked like he was going to throw us out. Like, and we're only a couple of days into our 2-week holiday. Well, I was just like, we was both apologising to the guy, and we were saying that we'd clear it up and that, and he was like, okay, I'll be back in 2 hours, and you better have cleared this all up or whatever. So anyway, the guys stormed out of a room or whatever, and like me and Amon's still there, and I was just looking at him and I was like, what's happened? And he's like, it's them lot. One of the others has come in our room and covered the room with this like powder fire extinguisher. And I was just looking at everything, and I was just like, oh my God, this is outrageous. Like, we're coughing and spluttering. The gits who done it, I mean, I'm not going to start naming names, but there was 8 of us on holiday. So I still, to this day, I don't really know who exactly it was. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Amon probably can, because he's like more still pals with them. Not like I am pals with them, but I just don't see them. You know what I mean? But yeah, I was just like, I couldn't believe it. And then we was just like, well, we're going to get thrown out of this hotel, whatever. And we still got 2 weeks. Just under 2 weeks to go. Like, so we started to clear the room. I ain't even joking. We took the mattresses outside, got this big bit of bamboo. I don't even know where we got it from. Just like beating the mattresses, getting all this stuff off it. We was clear. It took us like 2 hours later, the geezers turned back up, like, and we're not even finished clearing up. But I think he could see that we weren't joking about, and we was putting our backs into it proper. And like he was like, okay, I'll come back in another 2 hours or whatever and see if you finished or whatever. We was like, okay. But the others by this time had like woken up, come out, and they could see us, and they're all smirking and whatever, laughing and stuff. But I don't know. I've got ideas who I think it was, but I don't know. But I guarantee that Amon would know. But it was just mental, because like our clothes got covered in it, our everything. It's just like 4 hours later or whatever, we like pretty much finished, like, but just trying to like get it off our clothes and all that, like. And I swear to God, I was breathing like coughing like a beast. Do you know what I mean? Like, after they done this to us. But yeah, it was mental. But we ended up not getting thrown out the hotel, because we'd done a good job clearing up and that. But I'll tell you what, if you could have seen it, and especially when I first woke up and I'm looking at Amon and I'm laughing at him, thinking, what's happened to him or whatever. And then he's like, looked at me and said, yeah, you ain't very much better yourself or whatever. And once I'd looked in the mirror, I was just like, I could not believe it. We was like proper snowmen. We was covered in this white powder. It was all over our room. But I don't know what time of the night they'd actually done it at, because when we got in, I fell asleep because I was so drunk or whatever. And I'm just hoping that I weren't breathing that in all night. And it was like pretty quick that we got up after they'd done it or whatever. But yes, it was a nutty old holiday. Like, well, not quite as bad as the first holiday, but it was bad too. Yeah, but yes, there's some other good tales from that holiday as well that I will get around to telling you. But yes, this one is about when it snowed in Malia on mine and Amon's heads. All right, sweet. Hope you enjoyed that little one, and I will speak to you very soon. Mwah.
CHAP tales. Don't you wanna hear some CHAP tales?